Hi guys. So today we're going to be taking notes on page 89 and 90. And the substitute is going to give you a sheet of paper that looks like this. Okay, and we're going to fill it out. And that one's going to go on page 89. Now again, you are not going to glue it today. I don't want you to go and ask the sub for glue. Okay, you're just going to fold it in half. You're going to leave it in your journal until I come back tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to fill it out together, and then it's going to go on page 89. And then we're also going to take notes on page 90. Okay, so go ahead and fill out your table of contents, and then we are going to fill out some vocabulary as well. So when you're done, go ahead and go to page 87. Now remember, your vocabulary is not glued in yet because I haven't been here. So we're going to start with acute angle. Okay. Acute triangle, page 686. A triangle that has all angles less than 90 degrees. So acute means less than 90 degrees. Okay. The next vocabulary word is going to be right triangle. A triangle with exactly one 90-degree angle. So a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Then we have a scalene triangle, a triangle with no congruent sides. Congruent means equal. All the sides are equal. Then we have triangle, a figure with 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay. Over here in the back we have equal angular, a triangle with 3 congruent angles. They all have to equal 60 degrees. And then equilateral, a triangle with 3 congruent sides. Again, congruent means equal. Equal sides, equal angles. Then a triangle with 2 or more congruent sides. That's isosceles. 2 or more. And then we have obtuse, a triangle with exactly 1 angle more than 90 degrees. Okay, so obtuse means more than 90 degrees. Okay. All right, so on page 89, go ahead and put classified triangles, and you're not actually going to write anything here. We're going to fill out this page, and then we're going to put it in there tomorrow. Okay. So we're going to start with scalene. Okay, so a scalene triangle has no congruent sides. None of the sides are congruent. Okay. And isosceles has at least 2 congruent sides. And then equilateral is all 3 sides are congruent. Okay. Then we're going to go over here. Acute means all 3 angles are acute, which means they are less than 90 degrees. Less than 90 degrees. And then the right means one angle is exactly 90 degrees. 2 angles are less than 90 degrees. Okay. And then obtuse. 1 angle is more than 90 degrees, and 2 angles are less than 90 degrees. Okay. And then the last one is going to be all 3 angles are congruent. All 3 angles equal 60 degrees. Okay? All right. So here, all of these are going to be some of these are going to be congruent. So when they are congruent, it's going to look something like this. So it's going to have a little line that goes like this. So these 2 are congruent. These 3 are congruent. Okay. And these are congruent. So 2 sides and 2 angles are congruent. Let's write that as well. So isosceles is 2 congruent sides and 2 congruent angles. So all of these are going to be congruent, all of these 3. And then over here, these 2 are congruent and these 2 are congruent. Okay. And for this one, these 2 are congruent and these 2 are congruent. And then for this one, actually, all of these are congruent and all of these are congruent. Okay. And then over here, this is the obtuse. Okay. This is the right angle right here. This is the right angle right here. This is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Okay. And then none of those are going to be congruent. This is obtuse. Okay. And this is also obtuse, sorry. Okay. All right, so once you fill this out, remember we are gonna put it on page 89 tomorrow. So just fold it in half and put it in your journal, and then open your notebook to page 90, and we are gonna write some things down. Okay, so here's the first example. Now, your triangles don't have to be perfect. So just do the best you can. Okay, here we go. So right here we're going to have 57.1 degrees. We're going to have 88.4 degrees. And then this is x. Okay? So, here's something really important that you need to know. Okay? You need to know this. So please write this down. The sum of the measures of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay? So, basically, when you add all three angles, this plus this plus this, you have to get 180 every single time, no matter what the triangle looks like. Okay? Every single time. So, what we're going to do here is we have to add 57.1 plus 88.4 plus x has to equal 180 degrees. When you add this plus this plus this, you have to get 180 every single time, no matter what. So, we are going to add them together. Okay. So when you add 57.1 plus 88.4, okay, I'm going to add it over here. Now remember, when you add decimals, you need to make sure that you put the decimals in the right place. So this is going to be 5. This is 17. Okay. So when we add these together, we're going to get 147.5 plus x equals 180 degrees. Okay. Now again, we have to subtract this. So minus 147.5 minus 147.5. Now we have to put a 0.0 here because we need to make sure that we line up the decimal places. So this is gone, and we're going to get x is equal to 34.5 degrees. Okay, so this is your final answer. Alright, let's try one with fractions. So we have x here, and then we have 62 4/5, and then this looks like that. So what does that mean? That means it's a right angle. And right angles are 90 degrees, okay? So whenever they don't give you a number here and they just give you this little box, that means it's 90. So you need to make sure that you know that. So again, we have x plus 62 4/5 plus 90 has to equal 180 degrees. Again, the total is always 180, no matter what. So we're going to add these together. Add these together. Okay. So 9 plus 6 is going to be 152. So x plus 152 4/5 equals 180 degrees. Now we have to subtract 152 4/5. Subtract 152 4/5. So this is gone. X is equal to 27 1/5. Now when you subtract this, you're going to have to borrow from here, and this is actually going to be 179, and this is going to be 5/5. Okay, because you cannot take 4/5 away from nothing. So 5/5 minus 4/5 is 1/5, and then 9 minus 2 is 7, and then 17 minus 5 is 2. Okay? All right. Let's do the last two problems. Okay. So, again, draw your triangle. Okay. All right. We're going to have 67 on this side, y on this side, 43 on this side, and x on this side. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to pretend like this is two triangles. So I'm going to do this side first, okay? I'm going to find x first, okay? So if I cross this out right here, okay, how much is this? Well, remember, this is a right angle. So this is actually 90 degrees, okay? So if I add 90 plus 67 plus x has to give me 180, okay? So if I add 90 plus x, or 90 plus 67, sorry, we're going to get 157 plus x equals 180, okay? So we're going to subtract 157 from both sides. So x is equal to, when I subtract 180 minus 157, I should get 23. Okay? So now that I have this, I'm going to look the other side. Okay? So now I can look at the total triangle. Okay? So I have a whole triangle here. Now, I'm going to pretend like all of this is gone. All of this. So we have 43 and we have 23 over here. So I'm going to do, let me change my color so that you understand what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to use blue. So now I'm going to do 43 plus x, which is 23, we just figured that one out, plus all of this. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to use a different letter. I'm going to use, let's use M, okay, equals 180, okay? So I'm going to add these together. 43 plus 23 is going to be 66 plus M equals 180. So if I subtract 66 minus 66 minus 66, M is going to equal okay. So I subtract this, borrow, that's going to be 7, that's going to be 10. So I'm going to have 114. Okay, 114. Now 114 is for all of this. So if I already know that this side is 67, I need to find the other side. So I'm going to subtract 114 minus 67, because I already know this side. I need to find this side. All of this has to be 114. So if I subtract that, then I should get 47 degrees. So this is y. So y is equal to 47 degrees. And x is 23 degrees. Okay? All right, last one. Okay, so let's say we have 8x here and we have 7x here, okay? So again, we're going to add this plus this plus this, and this is a right angle. So that's 90 degrees. All right, so we're going to add 8x plus 7x plus 90 equals 180. All right. So remember, we can combine like terms. These are like terms. So if I have 8 x's and I'm going to add 7 x's, then how many x's am I going to have altogether? I'm going to have 15 x's plus 90 equals 180. Now I'm going to subtract minus 90 minus 90. This is gone. So 15x has to equal 180 minus 90 is 90. Now we can divide by 15. Divide by 15. This is gone. So x is equal to 90 divided by 15 is 6 degrees. Okay? So 6 is your answer. Alright, so now that you're done with this, I want you to open your book to page 689, okay? And you're going to do problems 1 all the way to 13, okay? 1 through 13, okay? Do not tear it out of your book. Okay, don't tear it out of your book. Just work out everything here. And you can use your notebook to help you. And then I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, thank you.